very good evening, dear listener, and welcome to another episode of Wealth Link radio program on 98.1 Salt FM Abakaliki. Already in the studio is the Director General and CEO, Scholars Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Engineer Henry Nduka Awuregu. He is here to continue what he knows how best to do, and what we are talking about in the Ebonyi State is moving from consumption to production, and is here to tell you what you need to know, what you need to do to become very, very much productive in whatever you're doing. Again, welcome, Engineer Henry Nduka Awuregu. My name is Ugochukwu Onwe.
Thank you so much, Ndi Ebonyi, and welcome to Wealth Link radio program for today. And we are so happy that you are here listening to us despite the exigencies of the time. Of course, we congratulate all Ebonians for a successful election on Saturday, and we thank you for making yourselves available. From the results so far, we are happy that our sponsors have made inroad, because we can see the light even in the tunnel, and we thank God that our Principal Right Honorable Francis Ogbonnawivuru is cruising to the government house with very significant signs of success. We thank you for your listening time and all the commitment of our people that have been following this program. We also want to thank the FON Diaspora Network for the sponsorship, and of course the Skills Development Council of Canada. Of course, we've taken our exams and we are hoping to get the Diploma in Productivity Development for all those that are successful from the Skills Development Council of Canada. Remember that this program has been tailored down to service export, and this is almost 3 months that we commenced this broadcast, and it is important that we continue to let our people know the reason why we are going this way. Of course, you know that our principal, the incoming governor of Ebonyi State, Right Honorable Francis Ogbonnawivuru, is very much committed and very desirous for human capital development in Ebonyi State. And part of this human capital development is skills development. And of course, the kind of skills development that Right Honorable Francis Ogbonnawivuru will embark on will not only satisfy the job needs of Ebonyi State, but the entire world. So that is why we want to educate our people about the skills and service export program. Export generally are a very interesting topic, especially nowadays. But generally, when people talk about exports, they are most of the times referring to product export. And that is exactly what we want to clarify. Of course, you know that the fastest growing type of export today is service export. More and more companies, more and more individuals are finding profit in exporting services, and several trends ensure that these exports will grow rapidly. Service exports are of very huge importance, especially with these emerging trends in the global, or what we call international trade. Of course, you know that international trade is made up of both export and import. Incidentally, in this part of the world, the Igbos, we are more inclined to importation more than exportation. And many traditional manufactured products which are being exported most of the times are not done by our people. But whether we are importing or exporting, I want us to know that just as you do that with products, it can also be done in the area of services. And what makes that possible principally is technology. Yes, and of course, skills, various kinds of skills that are orchestrated by this technological emergence also contribute to the growing or the rapid growth of service export. The increase in service export also is a natural outcome of the continued growth of the services economy. Of course, in the world today, we appear to consume more of services than products even. And of course, there is no product export without service export attached to it. And of course, the pervasiveness of the internet, the explosion of cloud-based communication, all of them has enabled information and related services to flow freely across international boundaries, or what we call international borders. In today's episode, our goal is to help our listeners to learn more about service export and their role in the global trade industry, and of course how it is going to contribute to the long-awaited economic explosion of Ebonyi State. Yes, because we await very rapid economic prosperity in Ebonyi State when Right Honorable Francis Ogbonnawivuru becomes the governor. We will also look at some of the many benefits, some of the many issues and challenges of exporting services, as well as we are also going to explore some tips on how to export services successfully. So that's how we are going to be rolling from now till the next 1 month. Okay? So what qualifies as service export? That's the first question that I want to answer in today's episode. What qualifies as service export? First of all, let me once again define what exactly a service export is and what service export is not. If people think of anything when they hear the term service export, most of the times they think of construction services on large foreign infrastructure projects, or maybe oil rig workers, or film stars and production crews on foreign movies. These are definitely some examples anyway, but there's a whole lot more examples of service export. Okay, now how do I define service export? Very simply defined as any service provided by a resident in one country to people or companies from another country. When anybody in Ebonyi provides any form of service to someone that is not from Nigeria, that Ebonyian has indulged or participated in service export. I give you some examples. If you have a house in Ebonyi State and a tenant from America is paying you rent, just know that you are a service exporter. Or if you have some skills, some technical know-how, but before I go into service skills, even the akara fryer in front of or along the road where Chinese or Indians pass through and they patronize you by buying your akara, you have exported. I just want us to know it that way, so that you wouldn't confuse yourself with very big terminologies about service export. Okay? And then we go into technical know-how skills, such as when an architect or an engineer designs for a foreigner. That is service export. We also have other people-based service delivery, like when a team of consultants travels to Canada or London to assist with an installation or troubleshooting of an equipment. That is service export. When a geologist from Ebonyi State travels to America for maybe oil exploration job, that is service export. So I want to create that impression, the picture that will show you the size, the very huge size of service export in Nigeria today. And I want you to agree with me that it is quite enormous. But there's still more. many services that are exported that may not even necessarily cross any physical boundaries. That may sound confusing, but I will give you some examples now. If a local tailor, like an Abakaliki tailor, creates a suit for a foreigner, maybe a Londoner, an American, a Canadian, a Chinese, if an Abakaliki tailor creates a suit for that foreigner, that Abakaliki tailor has exported. Now, look at this one even. We have a lot of hotels in Ebonyi State. If a foreigner books a hotel in Ebonyi, or even books a tour, someone that will guide him, take him to Igwele Doha, take him to Oferekwe, take him to so many other sites for one thing or the other, that Ebonyian that is doing that has exported. Okay? If a local dry cleaner, a dry cleaner at Ikwo, washes an American cloth or cloth belonging to a Chinese and irons that cloth or whatever, that is export. All of these are considered export because they are provided by a service provider in one country to an individual or a company in another country. It doesn't matter whether you traveled out of the country or not. Many companies are already exporting services without even knowing it. And that is why this program is trying to, create this impression so that we know and benefit from what we are doing. If you shared your computer screen with someone outside your country via Skype, Zoom, for example, you want to solve a problem together, or you want to lecture someone that is not in your country, you are exporting. And that kind of export is called service export. So let's say you've presented an informational webinar, by Zoom, by Skype, to some participants, located in other countries. That is service export. And if you are exporting services, you may wonder if there is anything you need to worry about. Some of the challenges associated with service export include export compliance, value-added tax and income tax, work visas for those who will be traveling, and of course immigration, tariffs and duties, and data privacy considerations. Whether these issues will be a major concern or not depends on the service or the kind of service you are exporting and how you provide those services. And that is what we will be covering from now till the end of this session. Remember, the first session in this Wealth Link radio program dwelt on productivity development, trying to increase the internal productivity or the productive capacity of our followers, of our listeners. Now we are going into the real business, and this will require a lot of practical, because some of you will be traveling with us for some service provisions in other countries. It may be as little as going to make a presentation, paper presentation, but we want you to know that that is service export, and we want you to make money out of it, because you need to charge as if you are exporting, because that's what you are doing. But in case you want to travel abroad, there are some challenges that we normally encounter. That is the reason it appears that the Igbos are not really maximizing the opportunities to engage in service export. It appears that our Yoruba brothers, our Hausa brothers are benefiting more from this service export. And we will look at that very distinction after this very short timeout. But before we go on break, remember that this program is brought to you by the Scholars Chamber of Commerce and Industry, courtesy of the FON Diaspora Network, working for the actualization of the dreams and aspiration of our people to make Right Honorable Francis Ogbonna-Nwiburu the governor, because of the capacity and the courage and the credibility he has in the area of skill development. Please, until we come back again, I remain your brother, Henry Nduka Aworego.
develop your skills and profession to suit international standards. Are you ready for global opportunities in scholarships, skills, and services? Will you like to be prepared, packaged, and positioned to export your services and skills overseas? Then, this short diploma certificate course in productivity development is for you. From the Skills Development Council of Canada, it will be coming live on Wealth Link Radio Program, a business school on radio, powered by the Scholars Chamber of Commerce and Industry here on ABBC 98.1 FM at Abakaliki. Join us on Tuesday from 5 to 5:30 p.m. and on Thursday from 4:30 to 5 p.m. You can also join the WhatsApp class by sending your full name to 0805-038-8388. Again, 0805-038-8388. 0805-038-8388. Diploma in Productivity Development from the Skills Development Council of Canada is a sure key to open global economic empowerment. Join us.
Welcome back, and we've successfully defined and redefined what service export is all about. We've also given you a good number of examples of what qualifies for service export. Now, assuming you want to render those services by traveling abroad, from our experience, because we've taken a lot of people outside this country, we even had a very funny experience a few weeks ago when we took some people to Israel, Tel Aviv to be precise, and one of the people that traveled with us on arrival at the airport in Tel Aviv took away, started running away, because he felt that he has arrived Israel and he's not coming back to Nigeria. And we keep on seeing this kind of incidents among mainly Igbos, and we wouldn't want our people to have that kind of mindset of Japa, mindset of escape, mindset of Nigeria is not working, let's run away and bring our people. Take all your relations, all your brothers and sisters to where you have traveled to, and never to come back again to Nigeria. That normally will not contribute significantly to the economy of Ebonyi State. The kind of service export we want to create under the administration of Right Honorable Francis Ogbonna-Nwiguru is the type that you will be invited to come and spend some days, some months, some years working for a foreigner and earning in hard currencies and coming back home to develop your fatherland. That is the type that we are trying to encourage under this program. And by God's grace, that is already happening, especially through the Scholars Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And so we've also made some analysis by taking samples of people that traveled in Igbo land and some samples of people that traveled from Yoruba land, and of course people that travel from Hausa land. And I'm going to give you some, very little story that will try to give you the true picture of what happens, so that we will try to correct that anomaly. For example, now, when an Hausa person travels abroad, maybe to study first of all, because this service export begins with human capacity development, which has to do with studies. It can be maybe gaining admission overseas. Now, when an Hausa boy travels abroad, that Hausa boy returns immediately upon graduation and takes up a job, especially in the public service. No matter how low the pay is, they stay and grow gradually. They stay and grow gradually. That is an Hausa person for you. The Yoruba person looks for an opportunity abroad, works for some time, say 5 years maximum, and he also returns back to Nigeria to work for an expatriate company or a private sector company. The Igbo son, just like the Yoruba, also looks for an opportunity abroad, secures a good paying job, settles down abroad, and vow never to return to Nigeria again. Have you seen the difference now? Now, fast forward 10 years after 3 of them settles down. Remember the Hausa boy returns home and begins to work in the public sector. The Yoruba boy returns and begins to work for an expatriate or a private company. The Igbo says, no, I will not come back. So in the next 10 years, okay, the Igbo man is married and he has gotten kids who may not even know how to speak Igbo. The next project will be to bring all his family members abroad, who in turn follow the footpath of their brother by refusing to return to Nigeria. And you know, the sequence continues like that. Now, the whole family is abroad with only parents living in Nigeria. In 15 years, the Igbo son is now an influential, maybe software engineer or data analytics abroad, or data scientist abroad in one company, say in Canada. The Hausa man is now a commissioner of police, and he will be serving as commissioner of police in the Igbo man's hometown. The Yoruba man also is currently the senior network engineer of one of the mobile lines in the Igbo man's fatherland. Of course, the Igbo man will be sending money home to build a mansion in his village, no development. The Hausa man recruits 50 of his people into the police force. That is employment being created like that. The Yoruba man writes to his state government about his company's intention to sponsor 20 Nigerians abroad for study, and he can facilitate up to 15 to come from his state. That is technology transfer or skill transfer. I hope you are getting the difference now. As the Yorubas and Hausas are taking over the private and public sector jobs in Nigeria, the Igbo man has deserted his fatherland, and maybe his village may be littered with mansions, but nobody is living there. No company, no return on investment, no diaspora returns or remittances. And ask the Igbo man to invest in his town. He will tell you that he doesn't make any profit, that it is not a good idea. But you know one funny thing? When he dies, he will be rushed home and be given a befitting burial. Have you seen the story? That is the story of Nigeria. That is the story of the Igbo man in Nigeria. And we keep complaining. We are marginalized. We are not given opportunity. That is it now. That is exactly the true picture. We try to japa. The other people try to go acquire skills, bring connections back home, transfer technologies back home, draw investors back home. And that is exactly what Right Honorable Francis Ogbonnawivuru wants to activate in Ebonyi State. You see why you have to vote for Right Honorable Francis Ogbonnawivuru. A vote for Right Honorable Francis Ogbonnawivuru is a vote for rapid skill development. A lot of people will be sent abroad to acquire skills. Our prayer is that these people will not japa. Our prayer is that these people will come back home, because the strategy, the skills, the connection to do that is already here with us. For the past 3 months, we've been sharing very strategic skills and ideas to our people. And we're happy that a lot of people are already prepared, packaged, and positioned for what I'm talking about. In case you are listening to me for the first time, you need to come to our office in Scholars Chamber of Commerce and Industry office at CAS Campus. That is temporary site of Ebonyi State University, CAS Campus, and get more information on what we are doing. Get ready, get prepared, get packaged, and get positioned. The instrumentality of getting you prepared, packaged, and positioned are already here with us. That's exactly what we're doing here on radio. And we are not just politicking. We are not just campaigning for Right Honorable Francis Ogbonna Nwifuru. We are telling you the reality. This is what we have agreed with him. This is what we know he has intention to do. This is what we know he has the passion to do. Because we cannot continue to be in this kind of economic harassment, whereby our people are only known for selling pure waters in 9 Mile Junction, whereby we are only known for hawking in most of the major cities in Nigeria. We want to bring these people back home, give them skills. We're not quite, concerned about certificates. We are more concerned about skills, because skills means strategies. Skills means solution to problems. Skills means solution to poverty. So that when you have the skills, you become a hot cake. You become hot in demand. You can be exported. Your services can be exported. Even if you are not traveling, you render services via technology. Mr. Tony Odukwe, the coordinator of FON Diaspora Network, has taken a lot of time to give you some of the apps in your phone that will be dropping some dollars in your account. And I'm happy that some people are already reaping from those ideas shared on this platform. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to this new era of service export. The Scholars Chamber of Commerce and Industry is already, executing what we call the Global Skills and Service Export Program, GLOSEP. In Port Harcourt, it is working. In some of the cities in Nigeria, it's already working. We are bringing it home, and Ebonyi cannot be different. Ebonyi cannot be left behind. We must have to give our people skills, give them solutions to problems, international problems that they will, be equipped to solve. And when they solve those problems internationally, they've started exporting. And remember, when you are exporting, you can decide the type of currency that you will be paid for your services. So if you're a graphic designer here in Ebonyi, and we connect you to a company in, say, Portugal, you are at liberty to charge them in euros or in pounds or even in dollars. So don't tell them that I designed for 500 naira. You may be cheating yourself. You can say I designed for $250. And when you convert that money, when it is paid into your account, in your dollar account, we've taught you how to open dollar accounts in almost all the banks. Here, all our local banks can give you what they call domiciliary account. And that will be dollar, pounds, euro. And when you get that kind of money from abroad, you can now withdraw from your local account, change into your naira, okay? And that will mean a lot of money. So export is good business. We want to thank you for your listening attention, and we pray that God bless Ebonyi State. We pray that God bless the ambition and the desire of Right Honorable Francis Ogbonna Nwifuru. God bless you. I remain your anchor until the next episode. My name is Henry Ndoka Aworego. God bless you.
Thank you, Engineer Henry Ndoka Aworego, the Director General and CEO, Scholars Chamber of Commerce and Industry, for coming to talk to us this evening. And dear listener, thank you so much for being part of this week's episode of Wealth Link Radio Program on 98.1 Salt FM Abakaliki. See you again next week, Tuesday by 5 p.m. I am Ugochukwu Onwe. Ready to develop your skills and profession to suit international standards? Are you ready for global opportunities in scholarships, skills, and services? Will you like to be prepared, packaged, and positioned to export your services and skills overseas? Then, this short diploma certificate course in productivity development is for you. From the Skills Development Council of Canada, it will be coming live on Wealth Link Radio Program, a business school on radio, powered by the Scholars Chamber of Commerce and industry here on ABBC 98.1 FM Abakaliki. Join us on Tuesday from 5 to 5:30 p.m. and on Thursday from 4:30 to 5 p.m. You can also join the WhatsApp class by sending your full name to 0805-038-8388. Again, 0805-038-8388. 0805-038-8388. Diploma in Productivity Development from the Skills Development Council of Canada is a sure key to open global economic empowerment. Join us.